ISU men's basketball at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament on 103.3 WZND, the pulse of Redbird Nation.
Welcome back to the Scottsdale Center here in beautiful St. Louis for Arch Madness. Illinois State is leading Northern Iowa 36-22 at halftime. Illinois State came out in a fiery first half, leading the Panthers. I'm Mitch Schaefer, accompanied here with Jason Klaer. Jason, what have you seen from this Illinois State team in the first half?
Well, you mentioned a little bit about it, Mitch. Offensive firepower. Before any of us could really blink, they had already put 12 points on the board. Really, and three-point shooting has been the best it has been so far this tournament. Right now they are shooting 50% from beyond the arc, 6 of 12. On top of scoring in the paint where you really want to get the bulk of your points, it doesn't hurt to score 18, half of your points exactly from outside the arc. Big thanks to Justin McLeod, 3 for 3 from behind the arc. As well as one thing that has concerned me a little bit about ISU so far, you do not want to give the Panthers any easy opportunities. Fouls need to be limited. Early in the first half, they had about 17 fouls. You do not want to give the Panthers a chance to go to the line and earn their points the easy way. So far, so good for Illinois State.
Absolutely. We saw it in yesterday's game, Illinois State versus Wichita State. Wichita put Illinois State on the line very early in the second half. They were almost in double bonus halfway through the second half, and we saw Illinois State, I believe, make 17 out of 20 free throws, an unprecedented amount, as well as you said, Illinois State shooting 50% from three-point land, and UNI is shooting only 11% from three-point. Seth Tuttle, their leader on the team, only scoring 5 points. Plus from UNI also only scoring 7 points. What do you think that UNI has to do in the second half to come out here and maybe try and cut this lead down to even single digits?
They need to hit their shots, first of all, but I think a little bit more important than that is they need to really lock down on the Birds. Illinois State has been able to get to the basket. They've been able to draw some fouls, but most importantly, they've hit almost every single open shot they've gotten to, and so that's a big thing. And on offense, they need to knock down their shots in general, not shooting well at all in the first half, 23%. 7 of 30. That's not like UNI, but really look for both teams. Although ISU is up by 14, Dan Muller will still make second half adjustments because that is what good coaches and coaches are always thinking do. Nothing's ever good enough. They always want to make adjustments because no one's perfect. Nothing is perfect. So that's why you have to make second half adjustments. And for the Panthers, Ben Jacobson saying the exact same thing. There's still 20 minutes to play here. Nothing's set in stone. So if I'm UNI, just come out, hit your shots, and play some defense. Play a little bit better defense than what you've already been playing.
Absolutely. This is a UNI team that we see almost game in and game out play very efficient basketball. They have a plus 11-point scoring margin over their opponents, which is very ironic because it's almost the opposite of Illinois State's leading 12 points at the half. They also average 12 assists per game, which they only have 2 assists, opposed to Illinois State, who has 9 assists on the game. Illinois State is just playing great team basketball. They're moving the ball. They're running their offense. UNI, they're just getting points, or they're getting second chance opportunities, not being able to capitalize. But they're not doing very good getting the ball to other players. They're not doing very good facilitating their offense. What do you think?
No, I think they have run their shot clock deep into it. They have their average shot time has been around probably 10 to 12 seconds remaining in the shot clock, but they have not done a good job of shooting the ball in general. Like I said, 23%. That's not going to win a ball game, shooting 23% unless you play standout defense against the opposing team. And so Northern Iowa really, but this credits Illinois State. They've done a great job of limiting the second chance points for the Panthers. They have grabbed almost every 50-50 ball. They've been really aggressive with Tuttle in the paint, sometimes a little bit too giddy, but it's good to kind of shake him up a little bit, get him out of his comfort zone, because if he gets going, watch out for the Panthers. Obviously one of the 15 finalists for the Wooden Award, which is the National Player of the Year in college basketball. So really have to watch out for him, but so far so good from both sides. More Illinois State, obviously, but there's been some positives and negatives for both.
Absolutely. And one of the positives also from Illinois State, Deshaun Knight, 11 points, 5 for 8 shooting from the field. He had 25 yesterday. What do you think he's going to do in the second half? Do you think he's going to be able to keep this up, or do you think he's going to be more of a facilitator and try and get more guys going like Justin McLeod, like possibly Reggie Lynch if he can come back from that injury? I don't know what happened yet, but
I think it's Deshaun Knight is going to be the same old Deshaun Knight. He really likes to shoot, but he's good at shooting. And so I think leave the facilitating up to Paris Lee and the other guys, because they've all done a good job of they've had a lot of good possessions on each thing to pass the ball, good solid possessions. I haven't seen any forced shots by them, but just real solid, possessions and taking care of the ball. Most importantly, they have not turned the ball over that much at all so far. So for Illinois State, just for Deshaun Knight, play solid, take the right shots. If you're open, shoot it. You can never don't tell a shooter not to shoot, because then you're taking away from their game. That's like telling a big man not to rebound a certain way. No, if they're open, you got to shoot it. I'd rather have the opportunity, because that's an easy rebound, a close rebound, able to grab the ball, put it up. That's an easy layup.
Absolutely, like you said, they have been very good at taking care of the ball. Only 3 turnovers on the game for Illinois State. Only 1 turnover for Northern Iowa, and that was a shot clock violation. So for them to be playing that efficiently and only have 22 points is it's kind of embarrassing for Northern Iowa.
The biggest thing right now is this number 23% I've seen them shooting from the field. That is definitely the difference maker in this game. You saw the first 2 games against Bradley on Friday night. They shot lights out, as well as yesterday afternoon against Loyola. And so this, the first 2 Illinois teams they played in the tournament, they've been pretty, they've had their ways with. But, this Illinois State team is not going away. They are a team on a mission here at the 2015 Missouri Valley Conference Championship here in St. Louis. They are not going to go away after yesterday's statement win.
Yeah, these guys are playing with tremendous amount of confidence. 36-22 at halftime. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Give it back to Sam and Connor for the rest of the second half call. We are here at the Scott Trade Center, seeing if Illinois State can keep marching in March. We are here at Scott State Center. Keep it tuned here to 103.3 WZND, the pulse of Redbird Nation.
Live coverage of ISU men's basketball will be right back on 103.3 WZND, the pulse of Redbird Nation.